My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Alita Battle Angel, and this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But this might seem like a very random review, but Hypnotic, directed by Robert Rodriguez, came out this weekend, and this movie's directed by Robert Rodriguez, so that's my excuse. The truth is, I just really wanted to watch this movie and review it because it's fucking awesome. I love it. This movie is so damn great, and it didn't get the recognition it deserved when it came out, but it has actually become a modern cult classic. Like, I really liked this movie when I first saw it, but it has sat really well with me, and rewatching it, I think this movie is just incredible. And so much of that is because of the world building. I love this universe filled with humans and cyborgs and a combination of the both of them. Every single character looks so vast and different from one another, and it just makes this world feel like unlike anything else. I love the sport of motorball and how that comes to life. I love how the police force is mostly reliant on bounty hunters. I love the backstory of how everything came to be. I just found it to be very fascinating, and there's just so much imagination and creativity in like every minute of this movie. Like, you can just look at the background and see some character designs and be like, oh, that's cool. There's this guy at the end who has this rocket launcher for an arm, and I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. Or even Alita's battle armor and how cool that looks. You know, I just think there was so much effort put into this movie, and lots of that is because of Robert Rodriguez's incredible direction. The dude's a very fascinating filmmaker. He directed Spy Kids, which is a good movie. That first one gave me nightmares as a kid. But he also made Spy Kids 2, 3, Shock Bar and Lava Girl, shorts, We Can Be Heroes. So he's got his kids movies. And then he's got his like From Dusk Till Dawn, his The Faculty, Sin City, El Mariachi in that trilogy. So he's just very fascinating because it's like kids movies or very adult movies, and this is the one that's kind of in between that. You know, it's definitely not made for kids, but they could probably watch it, and I just think his direction is so strong and confident. The visual effects are absolutely spectacular. Like, I don't believe that every movie should look as realistic as possible. I think it's great when a movie looks very stylistically interesting, and that's the case here. You know, another example is Speed Racer. That movie doesn't look realistic, but it looks stunning. And this movie, like, I do want to say that this movie wasn't even nominated for Best Visual Effects. Like, what a joke. It should have won. Are you really telling me 1917 had better visual effects than this movie? Like, that movie is fantastic and has great visual effects, but come on, give me a break. And the action set pieces are just top notch. The choreography is great, it's brutal when it needs to be, it's well shot, and it's just got this nice flow to it. It's edited so perfectly, and like, you know, you got this one fight scene early on of Alita taking on the three guys in the alley, and that's fantastic. You get this bar fight, which is so badass. You then get to this fight scene where she literally uses her legs and one of her arms, and she fights with only one arm, and she jumps up and she sticks her arm in the guy's eye, and she's just like, fuck your mercy. Oh, so good. Then you get this scene when she takes on all these robots, which is really great. Oh, the motorball sequence, of course, is outstanding. That sequence, like the way it begins with Christoph Waltz calling her, and he's just like, they're trying to kill you. Which ones? All of them. And then it just counts down to 3, 2, 1, and they're all just going for her. It is some of the best action of the past decade. It is phenomenal, just perfection. And the way she leaves the arena and they end up chasing her on the rooftops, it's just so exciting and just so well made. The sound design is fantastic, and the characters and the cast brings them to life incredibly well. But Rosa Salazar is absolutely amazing here. She showcases so much emotional range. She highlights the naive sensibilities of this character, but she's still a confident badass when needed. And she just carries this movie perfectly while bringing lots of heart and soul into it. And yeah, like, this is just a wonderful performance. And she was also great in Brand New Cherry Flavor, and I don't know, nobody talks about her and this movie as much as they should. Kean Johnson, when I first saw it, was my biggest issue. I didn't think it was very good. Here, I liked him more. He's not great, but he's convincing enough, and I like some of the twists and turns of his character. By the end, there was a lot more to him than you might have initially thought. Christoph Waltz is good. He brings some real humanity to this movie. Jennifer Connelly is fine. I maybe would have liked a bit more from her. Same with Mahershala Ali. He does a good job, but would want a little bit more. Ed Skrein is fantastic. You know, he's only in the movie in a few scenes, but he's this memorable side character, and same with Jackie O'Haley. He's a really great villain, and everybody else I didn't mention is good as well. And I do think this is an effective origin story. It kind of reminds me of Pinocchio. Like, she's born without memory, and she has to learn everything from scratch again. So she learns about maybe not being so cocky, and she's overly naive and trusting, and by the end, she feels like a fully fleshed out character, and we even see her power-ups throughout this movie. You know, she's strong at the start, but by the end, with her armor and her training, she's just on a whole other level. So as an origin story, I think it's really great, and I love the character, and I do care about what happens, but I do think structurally, it's a little bit all over the place. You know, sometimes it's about Christoph Waltz being a hunter warrior and her wanting to do the same thing. Then other times it's more focused on motorball and then the romance, and it doesn't always feel like a cohesive script. And by the end of the movie, it's clear that it's a part 1, and holy shit, there needs to be a part 2. Avatar: Way of Water did incredible, and I really hope James Cameron uses some of that money to get this movie made, because I would love this to become a trilogy. But yeah, sorry. What I was saying is, yeah, like the structure's a bit all over the place. By the end, it does feel like it's maybe a couple minutes too long. In the scene when she offers Hugo her heart is a little bit too much for me, but it doesn't really affect my enjoyment all too much. Like, I always say that a story is not always the most important thing in a movie. One of my favorite movies of 2022 was Mad God, and there's almost no story, no character work. It's just pure imagination. It's just pure craftsmanship, and it's such an incredible movie. And I think there's enough here that I still really love this movie. Like, it's a complete blast. I love the world building. It's incredibly well directed with some phenomenal action sequences. I love the character of Alita and Rosa Salazar's performance. And yeah, the story's a bit of a mess here and there, but man, I've been watching clips from this movie all day today, and I'm just like, man, it's so good, and just watching it, it's just, I love it. I want more movies like it. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and give Alita Battle Angel an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not kidding though, like, we better get a sequel. Like, if this is the only one, I'll be so disappointed. Like, for real, like, please make Alita Battle Angel 2. Like, if I could make any movie happen, it would be Gore Verbinski's Bioshock movie, but this would be right below it. But anyways, what do you think of Alita Battle Angel? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.